Hey guys, back at you with another pen-ish organization video. So I know a lot of people have their different ways of organizing their ink samples, organizing, if they take swabs of ink or ink swatches, and how they organize everything into a nice spot. I'm just going to kind of show you guys mine, so hopefully you guys can get an idea of what you would like to do. Sorry, that's just some stuff from my previous video that I just put out on the Jinhao 992. Here are my ink swatches. Let's see what else I got here. So, what I do is, I don't think Goulet sells this anymore, and I don't know who sells it, but I got the Nemo Sign word cards. I absolutely love this way of keeping swatches, and what I'm going to do when I run out of this is just buy a ring and do either some note cards or try and find some fountain pen friendly note cards and continue with this. Cut them to size, round the edges, whatever I gotta do, punch a hole in them, because I just love this way of keeping all my ink swatches together. If I'm like, what color do I want to put in my pen? I can go through here, see everything that I got, and pick one that I really like. So what I do when I get an ink, a new ink, whether it's in a vial or a bottle, I do a couple of things. The first thing I do is I take a Q-tip, dab it in the bottle, or sometimes I clean the cap of the ink samples. A lot of ink gets up around there, and swab it on the paper. I try and do it all in one so that I kind of get some shading, if there is shading in that ink. So it's heavier, more ink to less ink. And then with a pencil, let's see if I got a pencil hanging out around here, I write what the ink is. So this one's in pencil still. So I write, this one is Diamine Damson. So I write on the front the name of the ink, and then I put it towards the back of, where are some of my, back of my ink swatches. So when I go to use a new ink, I look back here for the card and get it out. Once I have that ink in a pen, I erase the pencil and then write the name of the ink in the pen that I have it in. So this one is Diamine Graphite, excuse me. Then on the back, the bottom, I put the pen that I am writing with in the size of the nib. Where's the other one? Here we go. So like this one is in a Jinhao 992, it's a fine nib. So I write that. And then I also write a quote that I like. So like this one is Diamine Red Dragon. It's a great ink. I wrote it in a TWSBI Eco medium nib. And then the quote is, commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will act. Psalms 37:5. They aren't all Bible quotes. That one just happened to be. Sometimes I don't know who wrote it, so I don't have an author. What's this one? It's another Bible one. Here, this one. The best position of your life will be the small... I can't even read my own writing. Something movements you spend smiling with someone who matters to you. So anyhow, that doesn't matter. That's just what I choose to do. You get to see a little sentence of some writing. You see what pen it was, how big the nib was, and then you see a swatch of it. And then if I happen to have it in a flex nib, I don't have very many flex nibs, I'm not a huge fan of flexing, then I will do some flexing with it on the front. So this is Noodler's Apache Sunset, famous for its shading. So I put it in the Ahab and did some fine lines without flexing, and then some flexing lines. Sometimes I'll do X's to try and, I can't even find one with X's right now. But that's just what I plan to do, or that's what I do. Here's Noodler's 54th. So there's some shading X's, or some flexing X's. The second thing that I do is I use that same Q-tip and I put a dot on a piece of paper. Sounds complex, right? So I take that dot, I cut it out, I use some tape, and I tape it to the top of my sample or my bottle. Here's the top, because it actually is a flat one, but this eyedropper bottle of Heart of Darkness. Obviously I can't put it on the top, so I put it on the side. Doesn't work as well when it's on the side, but I only have a couple of those bottles. So it works really well for, again, if I just want to look and say, hey, you know, which ink do I want to put in my pen today? I look at my dealy bobber here of all sample vials and say, ooh, that, you know, that one looks kind of cool. Which one is that? And then it says what it is, what ink it is on the side. Then I can look it up in the swab, or I can pick just based on that. It's kind of, you know, kind of ridiculous, I guess, but it's what I do, and it works for me. That's pretty much it. So I'd love to hear what you guys do to keep all of your ink stuff organized, ink bottles, ink vials, pens, you know, whatever you use that works for you. I'd love to hear more. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.